Imagine a child standing at the entrance of a classroom. The teacher smiles. Some students wave. But one child quietly whispers, "Don't sit beside me." Not because of what he did. Not because he was rude. Not because he failed. Only because of the family he was born into. That one sentence stays with him for years. He begins to believe he is less worthy. He stops raising his hand. He avoids making friends. He starts living according to other people's opinions instead of his own dreams. Sadly, this story is not just fiction. Across different places and times, many people have experienced prejudice because of caste, class, religion, race, or background. These experiences can deeply affect how people see themselves. But here's a question. What if your value was never determined by another person's prejudice? What if the labels people gave you were never your true identity? What if the prison keeping you small wasn't only society, but also the belief that those labels defined your future? This is the central message behind the courage to be disliked. The book doesn't deny that injustice exists. It doesn't tell us discrimination isn't painful. Instead, it offers a powerful idea. No one else gets to decide your worth. You may not control where you were born. You may not control how people judge you. But you can choose whether those judgments become your identity. Today's journey isn't about ignoring discrimination. It's about discovering the courage to protect your dignity, build meaningful relationships, and refuse to let prejudice decide your future. Pain of growing up with discrimination. In a small village lived a boy named Arjun. Every morning, he woke before sunrise. His mother packed his lunch in a simple steel box while his father left early for daily wage work. Arjun loved school. Not because it was easy. Because he believed education was the only road that could change his family's future. But school wasn't always a place of learning. Sometimes, it became a place of silent pain. A few classmates refused to sit beside him. Some parents asked their children not to visit his house. During festivals and celebrations, he often found himself standing alone while others laughed together. The cruelest part wasn't the words people spoke. It was the silence that followed. Every day, Arjun returned home pretending everything was fine. His mother noticed the sadness hidden behind his smile. One evening she asked, "What happened?" Arjun replied, "Maybe I was born wrong." His mother held his hands tightly. "No, my son. People may misunderstand your identity, but never misunderstand your value." Those words stayed with him. Yet the wounds remained. He began believing that no matter how hard he studied, society had already decided his place. Then one day, a teacher noticed something unusual. Arjun always scored the highest marks but never celebrated. The teacher called him after class. "Who told you that your future has already been written?" Arjun remained silent. The teacher smiled. "Your past explains your pain. It never decides your destination." That sentence became the beginning of a new life. Your past does not define your future. One of the most powerful ideas from the courage to be disliked is that our past influences us, but it does not imprison us. Many people spend years believing, "I can't succeed because of where I was born. People like me never get opportunities. Life has already decided my future." These thoughts feel real because painful experiences leave deep scars. But scars are evidence that healing is possible. Your history explains your struggles. It does not predict your destiny. Why did this happen to me? He began asking, "What can I do today?" That small change transformed his life. The future belongs to people who act, not those who surrender. Arjun slowly understood this. Instead of asking, "Stop living for other people's approval." For years, Arjun tried to make everyone like him. He smiled even when insulted. He stayed quiet even when treated unfairly. He thought, "If I become perfect, maybe they'll finally accept me." But acceptance never came. One day, his teacher told him, "If your happiness depends on everyone's approval, you give everyone else control over your life." That truth was painful. Many of us do the same. We choose careers to impress relatives. We hide our opinions to avoid criticism. We constantly compare ourselves with others. The desire to be accepted slowly becomes a prison. The courage to be disliked means accepting that doing the right thing will not always make everyone happy. Respect matters. Kindness matters. But sacrificing your identity for approval only creates a life that belongs to someone else. Separate your self-worth from society's labels. Society often creates labels. Rich, poor, upper caste, lower caste, educated, uneducated, successful, failure. But labels describe circumstances. They never measure human value. Arjun realized something important. People who judged him had created stories about him before even knowing him. If he accepted those stories, he would spend his whole life carrying someone else's opinion. Instead, he decided to write his own story. Self-worth comes from character, integrity, compassion, discipline, courage. These qualities cannot be taken away by prejudice. The moment you stop defining yourself through society's labels, you begin discovering your true identity. Courage is acting despite rejection. People often believe courage means having no fear. That's not true. Courage means moving forward while fear walks beside you. Arjun still faced rejection. Some people still ignored him. Some still refused to change. But something inside him had changed. Instead of asking, "Will they reject me?" he asked, "Will I reject my own dreams because they reject me?" The answer became clear. He continued studying, applied for scholarships, worked harder every year. Years later, he returned to his village, not seeking revenge, but determined to help children receive the education he once fought for. Real courage isn't proving others wrong. It's refusing to let hatred decide who you become. Build relationships based on mutual respect. The philosopher in The Courage to Be Disliked teaches that healthy relationships are based on equality rather than superiority or inferiority. Arjun discovered true friends who respected him for his honesty, kindness, and hard work. They didn't ask about his background before offering friendship. They saw his character. Real relationships grow through mutual respect. They are built by listening, supporting one another, and recognizing each person's dignity. When we treat people as equals, we help create communities where everyone can flourish. Practical habits for developing self-confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through daily actions. Start by changing the questions you ask yourself. Instead of dwelling on what others think, ask, "What kind of person do I want to become today?" Keep promises you make to yourself. Small commitments, waking up on time, reading a few pages, exercising, or completing a task, teach your mind that you can rely on yourself. Practice gratitude every evening. Write down 3 things you did well, no matter how small. This shifts your attention from constant criticism to steady growth. Choose friends who encourage your values rather than your fears. Healthy relationships strengthen confidence. Learn something new every day. Knowledge expands your possibilities and reminds you that your future is shaped by your actions. When someone insults or underestimates you, pause before reacting. Their words reflect their perspective, not your worth. Respond with calmness and let your actions speak over time. Most importantly, remember that confidence grows one courageous step at a time. It doesn't arrive all at once. Your worth is not given by others. Imagine Arjun standing once again at the entrance of that same school. Years have passed. This time, he doesn't walk in carrying shame. He walks in carrying purpose. The same gate that once reminded him of rejection now reminds him of resilience. The people around him may have changed, or they may not have. But he has changed. And that changed everything. Life will sometimes place unfair burdens on our shoulders. Some people face discrimination because of caste, others because of poverty, disability, religion, language, appearance, or countless other reasons. Those experiences are real, and they can leave deep scars. Yet your scars are not your identity. They are evidence that you kept moving forward. Never allow another person's prejudice to become the voice inside your own mind. Your dignity does not depend on acceptance. Your value does not depend on applause. Your future does not depend on labels. It depends on the courage to keep walking when the road is difficult, to keep learning when others doubt you, and to keep treating yourself and others with respect. As the message of the courage to be disliked reminds us, freedom begins when we stop allowing other people's judgments to define who we are. Walk forward with courage. Protect your dignity. Respect the dignity of others. And write a story that no prejudice can erase. As the sun set over the village, Arjun stood outside the same school where he had once cried in silence. The building hadn't changed. The roads hadn't changed. Some people still hadn't changed. But Arjun had. He no longer walked with his head down. He no longer waited for someone else's approval to believe in himself. He understood a truth that changed his life forever. No one can make you feel inferior unless you allow their opinion to become your identity. Every scar had become a lesson. Every rejection had become strength. Every painful memory had become fuel for a meaningful future. Life may not always be fair. Some people are judged because of caste. Some because of poverty. Some because of their appearance, language, religion, disability, or family background. These experiences are real, and they hurt deeply. But your pain should never become the prison that limits your future. You cannot choose where you were born. You cannot control every person's prejudice. But you can choose your response. You can choose kindness over hatred. You can choose courage over fear. You can choose growth over bitterness. Remember, the greatest victory isn't making those who rejected you feel ashamed. The greatest victory is becoming someone who refuses to hate, refuses to give up, and refuses to let injustice steal your dreams. One courageous decision today can change the direction of your entire life. Walk forward with confidence. Stand with dignity. Treat every human being with respect. Because every person deserves equal respect, equal opportunity, and equal human dignity. Never forget, the world may try to give you labels, but only you have the power to define your character. Your birth is a circumstance. Your character is a choice. Never let another person's prejudice decide the size of your dreams. The courage to be disliked begins when you discover the courage to respect yourself. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that your worth is far greater than society's labels, then this channel is for you. Here, we explore life-changing books, timeless wisdom, and powerful ideas that help you build confidence, inner peace, financial freedom, and a meaningful life. If you believe knowledge has the power to transform lives, subscribe now and become part of a community that grows stronger with every lesson. Remember, read more, think deeper, live wiser. See you in the next book summary. Until then, stay courageous, stay humble, and never stop believing in your own potential.